It has been said that without a vision, the people perish. What kind of a vision do you have for your own life? What kind of vision do you have for your family? What kind of a vision do you have for this world? And as we gather here this morning, what kind of a vision do we have for our community and our parish? Jesus tells us in the gospel today that the gift of faith is enough to empower the kind of people that can bring about radical change. And Jesus uses the example of the sycamore tree. And he reminds us of how rooted we can be in a world and a vision that is not of God, but of our own making. And so the call to be authentic, the call to be faithful stewards of everything that God has given us, means that we are going to be uprooted. That we have to allow ourselves to be uprooted. Somehow we cannot settle for the same old, same old. We cannot settle for the status quo. And somehow all of our addictions, all of those addictions that somehow control us, we have to be allowed to go. Our prejudices, our racism, our bias, the opinions that keep us fixed and rooted in a world and in a position that separates us from one another, sometimes separates our families. We can't not just continue to dabble in Christianity when we feel like it or when it is convenient. Because the cost of being a Christian, the cost of allowing our faith to empower us, means to be able to let go of our old life. Baptism. We know baptism is dying to an old life, an old way of being human in this world, and putting on a new way of being human. A new way of living, a new way of responding, a new way of being in this world with each other. To do that is not a cheap grace. Allowing the Lord to uproot us and to replant us challenges us to create a new vision, to create a new vision for our families, for ourselves, for our world, and for our parish. In the first reading today, Habakkuk reminds us that we need to have the vision and we need to write the vision down. It needs to be written in our heart. It needs to be written in our mind. It needs to be written in our spirit. The vision of what God wants us to be. The vision of all that we can be. Some certainly see this as foolishness, as a waste of time, a waste of effort, a waste of money. But like Jesus calls us to give our life away. And we are reminded that serving God, if we truly choose to do that as God's people gathered here today, serving God is a thankless task. Jesus didn't get thanked for his faithfulness. He got killed. And so we are asked to look at the cross. And we can respond in one of three ways. We can look at the cross and we can say, what a tragedy. We can look at the cross and we can say, this is God's vision for a changing world. We can look at the cross and we can say, that this was a radical way of saying yes to God's project in the world. God bless you.